What is the one thing you could talk about for hours, even when nobody asks? Maybe it's photography, gardening, horses, books, painting, cooking, quilting, genealogy, stargazing. Maybe it's K-pop. And you already know which concert you would be building the entire experience around. Now, what if that one thing you love is more than a hobby or something you just post about? What if it became an unbelievable experience that other people could step into with you? Because sometimes you are the person looking for the experience, and sometimes you are the person who could create it. Hello, dreamers, believers, and bucket list retreaters. Welcome back to Bucket List Retreats, the podcast. I'm your hostess, Kelly Morgan Murley, and if you are new here, welcome in. Around here, we believe that a bucket list isn't just about places you go. It's about the experiences that make you feel truly alive. And today we are looking at this from the other side. What if something you are passionate about could become an experience for other people? Not another course, not another piece of content, not something else you have to sit alone at your computer and create. We are talking about a real experience with real people in a real place, doing something all of you are genuinely excited about. We are going to have fun with this one. But first, let's catch up. Apparently, you all want to go to a villa in Italy, eat fabulous food, and do art. Because last week's podcast with Cynthia Morgan, Cynthia from Umbrian Art Retreats for Italy Lovers, was on the podcast and it was so well received. Numbers don't lie, both on YouTube and the podcast networks. YouTube does tell us that over 80% of you who are watching are not subscribed. So feel free to hit that red subscribe button. It doesn't cost you a thing and it really helps the channel. Anyhow, I do hope a few of you are considering going to one of the art retreats that Cynthia is holding next year in Italy. I know I certainly am. I haven't made a commitment, but I am looking into it. I mean, who could resist staying at that gorgeous villa? Check out the show notes. There are links to her pages that show the gorgeous villa. They have thought of everything and it's just a lovely place to go. Even if you aren't doing this really cool art that she has there, they have put together some beautiful, beautiful retreats. And you'll see in the show notes links to our Instagram. Cynthia and I did meet in our Instagram class with Carla Beisinger. I will put a link to her program in our show notes again today. She has a free course that is worth taking. Even if you don't want to take any of the paid courses, check out her free course and definitely follow her on Instagram for some really solid Instagram advice. Gratefully, summer has lingered here and I am so for it. Tell me, are you? I'm just in no rush for winter at all, although I do love autumn. Don't we all just say this, but I could just linger in summer forever, which is probably why I lived in the Phoenix, Arizona area for years and years. Now we live still in Arizona, but up in the mountains, so it gets cold in the wintertime. Anyhow, I do hope you all had a really great summer. Please let us know in the comments what adventures you went on. Even if you stayed in your hometown, had a staycation, a lot of times that can be a real adventure in and of itself. And now that we are all caught up, let's check out what is going on in the retreat world, because there is always something interesting out there. New ideas, new destinations, and occasionally something that makes me stop and say, okay, now we need to talk about this. Let's get into this week's retreat news. This week's news comes from Euronews.com and just came out August 18th of 2027 by Diane Apin-Sedler. Adler. The title says, "This stunning new retreat focusing on wellness, music, and gastronomy just opened in Ibiza." And the picture, I think, looks very Moroccan. The resort to me looks like a very Moroccan style building, which it could be. It says this new retreat style resort has just opened in Ibiza. And this is not the Ibiza experience most of us probably picture. Temple Ibiza has opened on the quieter northern side of a Spanish island with direct access to a secluded beach. The Tulum-born brand says it wants to reconnect with Ibiza and what it calls the island's deeper history, one rooted in freedom, creativity, connection, music, and arts. So this isn't being presented as just another luxury resort where you check in, sit beside the pool, and begin wondering what time the breakfast buffet closes. It says it's designed a whole world around wellness that does include music, creativity, gastronomy, and community. After reading the article, I had to check out their website. You know me, I had to see exactly what wellness, music, and gastronomy actually meant. Well, quite a lot apparently. There are 182 rooms, suites, creative lofts, and villas, along with direct access to the sea. The wellness area, called Gone House of Healing, is built among the rocks and inspired by Ibiza's hidden caves. It includes hammams. Sign me up. I'm always in for a good hammam. Dry saunas, cold plunges, of course, and our favorites, massage and facial rooms. Restorative water therapies, including a warm mineral flotation tank. They also include yoga, meditation, breath work, sound healing, ice baths, coastal hikes, and even telescope stargazing. And then there is the temple itself, an architectural space inspired by the mind-bending work of M.C. Escher, with stairs and lights and changing perspectives. During the day, it can be used for yoga, meditation, and mindful movement, and at other times of the day, it turns into a place to gather for music, celebration, and immersive events. I am so curious. Have any of you ever been to one of their other locations? I would love to hear all about it. And if you took a group, that would be very interesting to know as well. It just sounds like a really magnificent place. You could start your morning with breath work, do jewelry in the afternoon, eat sushi at sunset, listen to vinyl in the evening, and then go look at Saturn when night falls. Honestly, that sounds like someone reached right into our conversation today and said, let's turn every passion into an experience and put them all in Ibiza. And of course, one of the things I love about it is that food is a big part of it. There are several restaurants and gathering places within the resort, including an intimate omakase. Did I say that right? An omakase experience using Mediterranean ingredients, beachside seafood, all over fire-led cooking with healthy breakfasts and specialty coffee. Very important. They do go on to say that they work with local fishermen and farmers so that the food will connect with the guests. What a lovely way to integrate everything. And it doesn't sound like music is just in the background either. The resort has live performances, sunset sessions, vinyl get-togethers, artists in residence, which is always the best. And they do these intimate gatherings in its own professional recording studio for musicians and producers. How nice. I find that especially interesting. They aren't just simply adding a DJ by the pool and calling it a cultural program. Music and creativity are being designed into the structure of the environment. I do not know what the final price would be, and I haven't packed my suitcase yet, but they certainly know how to make a person curious. And here's what really caught my attention about the story. Nomad Temple isn't marketing Ibiza as only a place to visit. They are marketing different ways to experience it. You could go for the food, you could go for the music, you could go for the wellness, the art, the stargazing, nature, or creative inspiration alone. And it looks like once you arrive, those interests begin overlapping. And that's exactly what we're talking about today here at Bucket List Retreats, the podcast. A bucket list isn't just about the places you go. It's about the experience that makes you feel fully alive. And somewhere inside this enormous resort in Ibiza, I feel certain there is a creator right now thinking, wait, I could bring my people here and build an experience around what we love. That is what we're talking about. So that is your retreat news for the week. Now let's take a closer look at an actual retreat and see what kind of experience it is inviting us into. We are going to start with a television interview promoting the Women's Retreat, a 3-day, 2-night wellness retreat created by Veda by Sonia at Maryville Retreat Center in Holly, Michigan. Let's listen, and as you do, let's think about the 5 B's: basics, beauty, benefits, believability, and belonging. The 5 B's that we came up with on our podcast a few weeks ago to be able to review these retreats in a way that is cohesive.
We are 1 week away from a women's health retreat here in Metro Detroit. Now, this event is billed as really a time for women to reset their energy, reclaim power, purpose, and peace. This is happening next Monday through Wednesday, August 10th through the 12th at the Maryville Retreat Center in Holly, Michigan. And you know what? There are still spots available. You can register to go if you'd like to. So we're going to tell you all about it. Joining me now to really dive in for the details about the special event is Sonia Carwall. She is the founder of Veda by Sonia, the group running this retreat, and also fitness expert Cynthia Mullins. Thank you both, ladies, for being here today.
Thank you for having us.
I'm excited. I think so many women feel like, yes, I need to reconnect. And this kind of retreat sounds like it's a very special event to do just that. So first of all, for people who aren't familiar with Veda by Sonia, what do you do there?
Well, Veda by Sonia is an educational platform. We educate ourselves to heal really from the inside out. A lot of the things that we really focus on is on mental, emotional, and really spiritual health that we sometimes get lost in the world of stress.
I think a lot of women can relate to that, whether you're working in the home or outside the home or both. Why did you decide to start this retreat?
Retreats are important to just reset ourselves, get away from our normal everyday life, and just have time to project of what we want to create best for the world that we live in today. We sometimes get into these habits. We don't know how to change them sometimes. And with support of women, we're able to do that.
Love that. And Cynthia, obviously, as a fitness expert, you're going to be there as well. For those who may not be familiar with this retreat, what can they expect if they go?
They can expect a deep rest, which I feel like most women, that's what they're looking for. We have, the craziness of everyday life, a chance to step away from their everyday life and create some of the changes that they've been looking for, reduce stress, intentional movement, and again, just deep rest.
Absolutely. So will there be, exercise sessions, meditation sessions?
Yes, there's going to be breath work and meditation, intentional movement curated by myself, sisterhood, connection, and time to just reconnect with yourself.
And, I think when you talk about stress and what creates it, a lot of times I think women don't even realize they're burned out. What are the signs of burnout?
That's a great question, Alicia. There's 3 signs I believe that we can really pay attention to: the level of sleep that we have, the depth of sleep that we have. Sometimes we sleep 12 hours, we don't feel rested, and we don't have that energy, and even the quality of our state of mind. So that's number one. Number two is the energy that we have in the day, the food we eat, how we respond to our children, and are we tired in the morning when we connect with our family. And number three is the state of our mind. Our state of mind is very stressed, and we can see that our relationships kind of dwindle away and our level of happiness goes away. So those are three triggers that we can look at to see how we can move forward, to see that we may need help.
It's so interesting because when you mention those reasons, I can literally, when I've had stressful times, I'm like, okay, all three of those are taking a hit,
Right.
and they literally compound, each of them. So, Cynthia, how can we combat this?
You can combat stress through improving your quality of sleep, intentional movement, and taking a strategic pause to step back again from the everyday life. I mean, we live in this fight or flight and high cortisol, and for most women, it's just become a norm. And so this gives us a chance to take a step back and pause. Meditation, breath work is essential, and taking a slower pace, just slowing down, really.
That makes sense. So you even had someone who attended this retreat before really give a wonderful testimonial to you.
Yeah. This wonderful friend of ours now, she was burning out. She's married and struggled with a separation, divorce, single mother, working 2 jobs, trying to make ends meet. But coming to our last retreat, she was able to step away to see what changes she wanted to make coming back. And sometimes with habits, it's hard to change, but when we're able to create some awareness around those habits, we can make that shift easier. So she had a great time, and I'm so grateful for having her on that retreat.
Sonia, Cynthia, thank you so much for sharing
Thank
your information about this retreat. You at home, if you'd like to take part, the Women's Retreat is a 3-day, 2-night event happening next week, August 10th through the 12th at the Maryville Retreat Center in Holly. It's $799, and you can register online at retreat.vedabysonia.com. That's retreat.vedabysonia.com. Thanks again, ladies.
Thank you.
Based on the interview, I did have questions, but after looking at the retreat webpage, most of those were answered. And the complete invitation is really so much more than the TV interview gave us. Let's begin with the basics. This is a 3-day, 2-night wellness retreat taking place at a retreat center in Michigan in August. Price is $799, and the website clearly tells us that the lodging, meals, and programming are all included. Massage therapy is available and additional. And it also tells us that the retreat is only for 40 people. We also learned that the experience includes daily yoga, Pilates, meditation, wellness workshops, time on the lake, nature walks, nourishing meals, sisterhood circles, and fireside chats. So once we combine the television interview with the website, the basics are actually quite strong. Now let's talk about beauty, because this, I think, is where the web page really changes the review. The television interview explained why women need the retreat, but the webpage helps us feel it. We see women doing yoga by the lake, sharing time outdoors, laughing together, and resting together during an evening yoga nidra session, and enjoying the retreat center itself. The photography gives us nature and water, warm light, friendship, which causes a sense of ease. The words support those images too. Rest your body, clear your mind, renew your energy. Now I can begin to picture myself there. The website introduces both guides in detail. Sonia Carwal is described as a wellness educator with more than 25 years of experience creating workshops, wellness programs, and retreats. We learn that her work includes meditation, breath work, and physical wellness education. Cynthia Mullins is introduced as an experienced fitness professional focused on functional movement, body awareness, and helping women feel capable in their bodies at every stage of life. Hear, hear, I completely applaud that. While their television appearance adds another layer of visibility, and the web page includes photographs from previous retreat experiences, along with several attendee testimonials. That makes the retreat feel like an established and real retreat. Although, as you all know, I do tend to question the short retreats. If this doesn't fill you up, consider a 7 to 10 day retreat. I beg of you. And that is this week's retreat review. If you enjoy discovering retreats with me and talking honestly about what makes one feel irresistible, take a second to follow the show or subscribe on YouTube. We would really appreciate it. Now, let's talk about the unforgettable experience that may already be hiding inside something you love, because a beautiful destination may grab our attention, but it is the experience created there that makes us imagine ourselves going. I think most people hear the word retreats and they immediately picture yoga. There's probably a woman in white linen somewhere sitting cross-legged. There may be a singing bowl. There's almost certainly a green smoothie nearby. And listen, I love all of that. But a retreat does not have to be a yoga retreat, and it doesn't even have to begin with a destination. A lot of people do start with the place. They say, I want to take people to Italy. And obviously, I support that plan. If your idea includes a villa, pasta, somebody else doing the dishes, I'm already interested. But what if we started somewhere else? Instead of asking, where could I take people? What if we asked instead, what do I love so much that I would want other people to experience it with me? That question opens up an entirely new world, because almost any passion, skill, hobby, interest, or community could become an experience. Not all of them should, of course. There may need to be a few things we experience privately, but you probably have something that you talk about differently. Your voice changes, you lean forward, you know way more about it than anyone realizes until they make that mistake or brilliant decision of asking you one little question. Maybe you're the person that knows every independent bookstore within a 3-hour drive. Maybe you plan your year around meteor showers. Maybe you can walk into a garden and name every single flower, while the rest of us are saying, oh, look at that pretty purple one. Maybe you, like me, love genealogy and can disappear for 6 hours into historical records long after everyone else went to bed. Or maybe you are one of those people that have really strong opinions about sourdough or fabric or horses or K-beauty. Those things may feel like personal interests, but some of them may contain the beginning of an incredible shared experience. This shift happens when you stop thinking only about what you love to do and start imagining how other people could step inside that world with you. Let's take books. You can gather a group of people inside a hotel conference room and discuss a book. That's technically an experience. But let's make it a bucket list retreats type experience. What if you could choose a beautiful historic inn and everybody read a novel connected to that region before arriving? You visit some of the places that inspired the story. You browse tiny independent bookstores. Maybe even a local artist joins you for dinner. And one evening, the dinner is inspired by the book. We did this exact thing with our book club when we went to Savannah after reading Midnight in the Garden of Good and Evil. And if you read that book, you will be excited to know we actually met Lady Chablis and watched one of their last concerts. We were so lucky. On these getaways or retreats, there are deep conversations, ridiculous conversations, and at least one person who becomes emotionally attached and needs everyone else to understand why. Maybe each guest goes home with a beautiful edition signed by the group, not by the author, because those little notes will remind them of the experience they shared together. Now, it simply isn't just a book club away from home. It has atmosphere, it has connection, and it has a story of its own. And that is the question in the center of today's discussion. How do you give people a way to step inside something you love? Not merely just watch you do it, not just listen to you talk about it endlessly. How can they taste it? How can they try it, make it, or explore it, or experience it for themselves? And for the person who is listening, but Kelly, I am not a good teacher. Good. You don't necessarily have to be. Maybe your gift isn't formal instruction. Maybe it is your enthusiasm. Maybe it is your eye, your connection, your community, your ability to notice interesting possibilities and bring the right people into the room. You are creating the experience. You don't have to be the chef, the art teacher, the chauffeur, the trail guide, and the person crawling under the table trying to fix the projector. Please don't be all of those people. If someone immediately came to mind as I said that, someone with a wonderful passion, audience, or community who may not recognize what they would be able to create, share this episode with them. They may be sitting on an idea that other people would absolutely enjoy. So now I really do want to hear from you. What are you passionate about? And what kind of experience could it become? Don't worry about making the idea practical yet. Give me the fun version. Give me the strange version. Give me the idea that you would immediately attend if somebody created it. Tell me in the comments. And while you're there, look what other people are dreaming up. You may discover that the experience that you have been waiting for is already living in somebody else's imagination. Thank you so much. And if you haven't already, we would appreciate you subscribing to the show on YouTube or following along on your favorite podcast. And if you know someone who might be interested, we would love it if you would share. It would be so great to have them part of the conversation. Friends, until next time, keep dreaming, keep retreating, and we will see you on the next adventure. Bye-bye.
I love you, Gaga.